The purpose of this video is to explain the various options for how the standardized FOL course templates will be made available to you. While we do have only a single standardized template, there are 3 configurations of the template that you may request from your Educational Support Technologist, or EST, to suit your needs. For this first section of the video, everything I'll show you will be consistent across all 3 configurations. Regardless of which configuration you choose, the template will be the same. Okay, so every time we build a new course site for a new development going forward, your EST will copy into it a course homepage. This page has 4 important elements. You'll see a standardized welcome announcement, which welcomes the student by name and includes a link to the course information module, which we'll explore in a moment. Then we have the professor information widget to the right. This is a space to provide your students with your name and contact information, but not much more than that. We'll provide additional details elsewhere. Immediately beneath that is the AI use for this course widget. Here we've provided the 3 AI permissibility icons. Your job will be to determine which of the 3 applies to your course and then to delete the 2 you don't plan on using. The text and link next to the icon is identical for all 3. The link points to the course overview page, which again, we'll discuss in just a moment. Underneath that is the calendar, which will auto-populate with details when you start including due dates for elements in your course like submission folders and quizzes. You can, of course, also manually create entries for your students. Next, every course will have a single discussion forum loaded with 2 topics. These are intended to be used for student introductions and course questions respectively. By default, these are both hidden and restricted by a release condition which requires the viewer to be enrolled in the course as a professor. This is because we only want students to see these if you intend to use them in your course. You would have to unhide the form and remove the release condition. We don't want students interacting with these unless you intend to manage them and respond. Now, the meat and potatoes, the content. Every course we develop going forward will have a course information module. As a reminder, this is the module students are directed to if they click on the link in the welcome announcement. In here, we have 4 pages. Going down the list, first we have the course overview. This provides a location for a course description, access to the outline and plan, an evaluation breakdown, and importantly, a place for a more fulsome description of how AI can be used in this course. If your students click on the link next to the AI icon in the home page, this is the page it will bring them to. The idea is that we want to be as transparent as possible with our students regarding how they may or may not use AI when interacting with your course. The way students can or cannot use AI in your course is entirely up to you, but whatever you choose, please do your best to be as clear with them as possible regarding your guidelines. So, you'd update the appropriate section here, and then delete the 2 that don't apply to your course. The next page is Meet the Professor, where you have the opportunity to introduce yourself in more detail. We would love it if you were to take the time to fill this out. This information matters a lot to your students. The third page is dedicated to academic and technical resources. This is the page where you would include any resources your students will have to acquire on their own to be successful in the course, like a textbook. The last page is called Let's Connect, and it refers to some communication expectations for how your students should interact between themselves and with you. It includes some pretty standard statements, but if you want to update it with some of your own preferences, that would be fine. That's the course information module. The next one is a dedicated evaluations module. There's plenty of research to show that a dedicated research module is the right way to go. This way, when a student is trying to find the instructions for a specific evaluation, they don't have to remember in which lesson it was presented, they just come here. In this module, every course will have 2 documents pre-populated like this: 1 evaluation template and 1 exam test information template. If you want to learn more about these 2 important templates, refer to the videos dedicated for each. The next module down is for lessons. And this is where our configurations begin to vary. In the first configuration, intended for courses delivered entirely face-to-face, the Lessons module will be divided into 14 separate submodules, one for each week. There will be nothing preloaded into those submodules. Since the vast majority of teaching and learning that takes place in a face-to-face course is delivered in the classroom, the modules here are intended to be used to support that learning. So put whatever you deem necessary in here, whether that be a PowerPoint presentation, supporting documents, or whatever else makes sense. All that we ask is when you include a file here, do your best to give it a meaningful name so that students will immediately recognize it. You can, of course, add lesson pages to a face-to-face course site, which can be super beneficial, but it's not a requirement. The second configuration, for hybrid and online courses, will have the same weekly submodule content structure, but in this case, each module will come preloaded with one single-page lesson. This configuration will be beneficial for those faculty who believe their lesson pages will be simple enough to be displayed on a single page. This is often appropriate when there's a relatively small amount of original content to be presented and supported with other material like journal articles, videos, websites, and the like. The final configuration is for hybrid and online courses, but rather than one single-page lesson in each weekly submodule, each week will come preloaded with one multi-page lesson introduction, one content page, and one conclusion. This configuration is ideal for those lessons that have enough original content produced by the faculty developing the course to justify chunking it into multiple pages. In this scenario, a single content page per week likely isn't enough, but creating as many new content pages as your lesson requires is as simple as clicking on Upload Create, create a file, and then choosing multi-page lesson content from the drop-down menu. Which configuration you use for your course development is entirely up to you, though we don't recommend using the face-to-face configuration for either a hybrid or online course, as it's insufficient for that task. If you'd like a second opinion on which configuration is best for your course, discuss it with your EST before they create your course site. You can also always reach out to us in the Center for Teaching and Learning at our email address, ctl@fanshawc.ca. Thanks so much.